decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. The fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Of course, he's coming off that monster game in their wild card victory, but that's his first catch here in the divisional round.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, you think about it, you got a rookie quarterback at the helm. You're in the divisional round of the playoffs here. And that head of his just has to be spinning, doesn't it?
Well, normally you'd have to say yes, but I do think that the way things went last week, how he played the wild card win, how sensational he was, that'll stop his head from spinning. And now he's in a situation that's getting towards uncharted territory because you've got Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez, the only 2 rookies to win 2 playoff games in 1 year. He's trying to join that company, but it's not going to be easy to get it done.
They'll come up second and 13. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before they could get much out of it.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in the playoffs. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. Brought in by Huff. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the slant, this is Kohler. And the Saints are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, going to be set up with a first and goal.
Now back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw again. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Saints. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. It's Dobbins on the out route, bringing it in. And he'll be out right at the 35. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll set up a throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
With that impact, I fully expected the ball to pop free. I still remember an old defensive back friend of mine. He used to say, guess what? Even if they catch the ball, make sure they have the memento to take back to the sideline.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They're going to look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Dobbins trying the left side. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get him done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Check, contact, check, contact.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Got his target. That's Kohler.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Tate. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He's going to air one out. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Hold the 6. 18 targets. Cowboy 80.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns. Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now 14-0.
Makes the score Saints 14.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Last week in the wild card win, he had 7 catches. That's his first one here.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Escaping the pressure right.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
The throw over the middle taken in, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. From 17 yards out. And the Saints continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins.
And some room to work. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 40-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there. They're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
He's got his tight end fan, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Dobbins running out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Second and 9 now. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I believe I can see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room, too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. They'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Back to throw here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Saints are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Right side and caught by Kohler. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards to pick up there.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league,
They often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Yeah, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara, and they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, sprinting it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. One more time with Dobbins, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. J.K. Dobbins, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make it 24-7.
Cowboys 7. Daniel Carlson set to
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start with no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round, and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. That's good for 28 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Kamara off the draw. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Meanwhile, Winston's throw caught by Olave. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. And the Saints will take over here at their own 14-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And he lost the football. And they are going to get this one back, it looks like. So nearly like-for-like fumbles, but they hang on to this thing and keep it a turnover. And that one quickly went from a big play for the offense, I thought he may go the distance, to a big play for the defense.
And how about the emotions for the defense on that play? It broke big. It was going to be an absolute disaster for them, and it turns out they end up with the football. I don't know that they're exactly celebrating.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Just to add that to the list of great moments for this defense today, they've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick 6, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick 6?
So they